So, and the thing about it is, it all comes together when in terms of alt tracking, win con versus their win con, choosing fights correctly, getting positional advantage. Those are kind of together, and then cheeky strats and comp. I put those as another thing together because sometimes it could be that a comp switch could be needed. That is always a good thing, but the main stuff we're gonna probably focus here because we don't have comms though is definitely like win cons and choosing fights correctly. Because the way I see it is, when you're properly setting up team fights, you have a higher chance of winning, right? As I always say, Overwatch is as a game is very chaotic. But let me go back here. As I always say, Overwatch games they're very chaotic, so you want to kind of control the chaos to make things more simple for you as a team. So with this comp, I see you guys running Ramacha, Genji, Sojourn, Lucio, Kariko into another Ramacha comp, but they have Widowmaker, May, Mercy, and so definitely you're gonna be looking to be probably the more aggressive team for sure. You're gonna want to have to close the distance to get on top of the Widowmaker, especially with your Genji. So let's see how you guys start this off. So ignoring the card to start, I think. Hold on. I don't know if I want to have you move the cart a little bit to start and then TP to your team, but I think I'm not too opposed to leaving the cart there for the first fight. Like this is kind of one of the good things where it's like you're playing to win the fight first, which is definitely more important in these kind of games. You want to get that, you want to get good position to take a proper fight. So I do like that. Let's go back a little bit, see what happens in the fight. But definitely next time though, I'm gonna need comms will be a lot better to hear. So you guys are kind of having a fight into the May wall, which is gonna be tough. But your Genji is deep and gets the first pick, which is good. That's why I think it's kind of good to actually take the first fight. Unfortunate for your Genji, you guys wasn't able to really follow up with him. It's kind of unfortunate. You lose your Lucio as well. This fight is basically, I mean, it's still look like you guys are actually holding some sustain right now. Honestly, if nobody gets picked right now, this is gonna be good. You guys have earlier spawn. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. But there's no car. A lot of so the thing about see like, oh shit, it's been a minute though. It's almost about to be a minute, and the cart hasn't moved. That is, but they need you in the fight. There's nobody who. The only person who could possibly move would be Genji, because he could reposition quickly. But we'll see. I'm gonna see if that comes back to bite you guys later on. So, all right, after this fight, this is where like stuff is like boom. So after this fight, right, you got the win. You should have been tracking alts. I don't know if you called out they'd be close on Ramatra alt, possibly have Mercy alt. But now you guys have a lot of alts coming up. So you need to speak about what's gonna be the win condition. What is gonna be the way that we win the next fight. But not just that though, I think it's about positionally. I think, a lot of times in Overwatch, you cut people just fight when they meet up, but in scrims and stuff, you can choose where you want to fight, right? You can really say, we should take the fight here to cut off certain LOSs, kind of force them to do stuff and do things like that. I'm not sure again what you guys are saying here, but I'm expecting maybe, I don't know, Ramacha, alts. I'm assuming that you're gonna say we build up one of our DPS alts and look to use it in this team fight. But actually got the Ramacha alt first. So Ramacha and Sojourn alt, which actually gets a lot of value. Are you guys gonna struggle because of that? Oh, well, you guys actually lose because of that. Okay, wait. So what actually went wrong in this fight? Let me see from this side. What actually went wrong in this team fight? So you pop Ramacha ult. You insta kill Mei. Oh, okay. So I think it's target focus. I think this might be a little bit case of target focus. Oh my god, my fault. I'm hitting this button. So I don't know if anybody's really tracking and paying attention. So, all right, in my opinion, who do you think is the most important people to be killing first on their team? Let me hear what you think. If given the opportunity. May? Okay. So, okay. The May, I actually like the May because she's going to be in the front line. So you do want to force out Ice Block out of her early. That's definitely a cooldown. Like, that's something, can be a win condition, right? You force out May's block early, you can punish her right then and there. That's actually a good thing. But you cannot forget about Kariko and their healers because that literally loses you guys the fight in the end. Especially, I don't know necessarily who's calming here, but when this Kariko TP's in, this like, is there behind sight? But I think it's something that people miss out on. Like a Kariko TP in sometimes should be a free punish. I don't know if anybody called the Kariko TP. And you guys are just like split really. I think you guys are definitely split. I just feel, I don't know if your Ramacha should be, I feel like your Ramacha should be peeling back a little bit. Like, let me see the initial ult. The initial ult gets you basically a kill on Mei. They ult behind. You're kind of zoned out by this ult. Your Sojourn is zoned out by the ult as well. Can't really do too much about that. Yeah, I think your Ramatra needed to chill. Like, really looking at it, I feel like your Ramatra should have played a little bit more passive. That's a tad bit. I think you don't want to I've noticed when I play with Ramatra and I overextend with Ramatra ult when the enemy Ramatra ult is up, we tend to lose that fight. So he needs to kind of play his life, and you need to communicate with that. You need to make sure he doesn't die either. That needs to be like a two-person thing. Think about it like whichever Ramatra dies first, Ramatra ult, you just lose that fight for free. But we're going into next fight. Going into the next fight, you guys should be looking to use a Kariko Blade here. But you need to keep in mind, they haven't used Mercy, they haven't used Bob, they haven't used Mei ult. So you need to also be playing to be ready for those ultimates. These should be in the comms talking about next fight. What are we gonna do? We have this, they're gonna have these ults, and you gotta think about how are we gonna necessarily win that fight. Pressure in the Mei is a good thing, what you guys do. But you do lose, oh Lord. So I'll say this. You made a mistake. You shouldn't. So this is like comes back to what I say about win condition. You should know that Mei ult is coming and you cannot burn cleanse for nothing. That cleanse is gonna neutralize Mei ult. So you need to keep that in mind. That's one of the bigger reasons to say because look, you gotta use cleanse here. That means now everybody knows go button on whatever we have, they cannot stop it. Like that Mei literally yeets it right afterwards, right? It definitely screws you out. Your Genji gets a kill in the back, which is, I mean, that's all he can really do. He bladed away. But I think you guys don't have to like lose that fight. You know what I'm saying? You trying to see what I'm saying though? Like Mei ult's coming. You tell your team, the Mei ult is coming. We can group together. I can cleanse it. Just play around me. Play together just for the Mei ult so we can cleanse it and then speed out. Like you save both amp. Literally save both amp and bell right there. You don't cut Mei ult. Just think about it like that. You won't even need beat. Technically, and then you know what you could do? You beat back in. And guess what? That beat goes onto your Genji. You can possibly win that fight now. That's where you see you could have counterplayed them without even having to use the ult, and then use your ult in response to win the team fight. So let's keep that in mind. You can't make yourself too vulnerable. Can't use big cooldowns for no reason. That's what I would say. That's the big key there. So hold amp, hold everything, because you know May ult's coming. Now, you guys are kind of out of ultimates. I would definitely think switching up comps wouldn't be a bad idea for sure. That's always it's not bad to switch comps once you're out of ultimates. You maybe see something that might work. Might at least get you 0.1. We're gonna see how you guys worked here. So forcing out May block early, I like that. But I don't think you'd be able to really punish it. They have Ramacha out here. I mean, I don't think there's anything really too much you can do about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you track Ramacha all, they just have it. It's the strongest ult in the game in its last fight. So it's gonna be a tough fight anyway. But definitely, I'm gonna chalk some of this up to like not being prepared for the fights or what we're gonna do. Definitely win condition every fight. Is that what you do though? Every team fight? After every fight, are you speaking about win conditions for next fight? Are you speaking about what you plan to do for the next fight? Because it just makes your life like easier as a team. Mm. So, saying the specific person you want to focus, I would say, that's fine. I definitely, because realistically, every team comp does have a order of who is high priority to kill and who is not, like as it goes on. I do think forcing out May block is good. May not, if you're able to punch it, is also good. But if you're forcing it out, is good. At least you won't have her like in your team doing a lot of value. But I would definitely, because in your DPS, you may need to put a little bit more pressure on the back line. But I'm gonna smooth this a little bit. Okay, let's see. Let's pause. Let me see team comps. Okay, this time you got Mercy, Rico, Widow, Echo. Okay, so you guys are not gonna be the more pokey team. They don't have speed. They don't have speed. They have probably Justice, probably more poke because of Soldier and Bastion. So this is kind of a disadvantage comp for you guys. Just a little bit. It's gonna be Echo would be the X factor here, but they'll be breaking shields more. They probably have more damage potential. At least more consistent damage with Bastion versus Widowmaker. You could definitely the Widowmaker could definitely hit some shots on the tank and some shots like that, which is good. So this team is deciding to move the cart early, which I'm not too opposed to. I think so I want to say something. I think moving the cart up a little bit here might not be a bad idea for your push, because then you could easily have somebody drop down like you or Genji to move the cart and then come back into a fight. Something just to think about. I think leaving it in spawn doesn't really sit right to me, I would say. I'm trying to die. I mean, you guys just kind of keep backing up. They have a lot more damage than you. Oh, that was a little overextension. I'm not gonna really track too much mechanical plays, but that's definitely a little bit. Was this a little bit overextended there? Let me just take a look again. Let me get a bit higher. So we're getting pressured. I believe we have cleanse or TP still. Yeah, we're just. You see, like that for this person to see, like they got to notice this. I don't know if anybody's calling back up, but the Ramatra is like fading back. Like you can't be. This person can't be here. For sure. They can't be here. Widowmaker's yeah, they just can't be here, honestly. At this point. They have to get out. They have to remember who they are, stay behind their tank, especially I know Kiriko could get away with things, but they definitely needed to watch out for that. But I'm looking at ultimates right now. We're about to have Valkyrie, we're about to have Ramatra, we're about to have Echo, but you guys aren't even gonna be able to touch, I believe. So I feel like this happening though, the game ending here is because you guys didn't push. Because you guys didn't get that first early push compared to like what they did. I just want to look back at this real quick. This is a short game. Could we? Hmm. I'm trying to think who would have moved card. Hmm. Hmm. So you guys got walled off in the beginning. That's what made this rough. You guys didn't see the May, I'm guessing, really. But for sure, I just think because I just want to see how long does it take before this card moves? Oh shit. Yeah, it took us a minute 40, and then there's gonna get a good fight. So that's the thing. I think this is my take. I think because you guys didn't get enough cart progress, it makes your second fight very hard. I think that is the problem, right? I think having the cart as far back as it is, this makes this next fight hard because they kind of will take the fight on a perfect angles, perfect event. Wait, can this thing move? Like you see now we're taking the next fight here, and I feel like realistically, because of the angles they can have, like Ash over here, somebody could have been well, they had May though. They basically have so much angles and ways to kind of play around this part of the map. Like being stuck in here is just like a not a good spot to fight in. Like I feel like fights in here just never really go well for like attackers. So you would definitely want to get the cart past a certain spot to kind of set up a second fight. Like second fight, you want to be like almost realistically in a perfect world, you kind of want to take this away. So you kind of want to have kind of control of this and not let them kind of sit on this upper angle on you. Like if you even like them being up here, honestly, wouldn't have been that bad. You ever Matra, you could just kind of walled it off, trying to make a play off of that for sure. Especially if the May would have been Inton, you could have probably get a pick on her. So I would say definitely need to get that cart moving though. So let me see. Let me see the other games. This is a short one. So for sure, we said the big takeaways, positioning for fights, knowing what their alt is, what their win condition. Because if you're predicting that they're gonna do something, it's just gonna make it easier for you to win. Kind of identifying, as you said, well, you said it already. Identify who was the target to focus per game. I mean per fight. You guys were sold on the May. I'm gonna agree with that, but I'm gonna also say never ever give up opportunities to pick up a support.